Welcome to our college briefing show. Today, we're diving into a sensational sports scandal where Chinese basketball and international betting collide. Former NBA star Antonio Blakeney is accused of accepting $200,000 to influence games in China's CBA league, exposing how global gambling can threaten sports integrity. This scandal highlights the vulnerabilities in basketball, especially with star players involved, and shows how cross-border crime impacts the game we love. Next, in U.S. politics, Senator Chuck Schumer has pulled support for the Department of Homeland Security funding bill. This comes amid heated debates over ICE's actions, including a deadly shooting in Minneapolis. Democrats are demanding reforms and accountability, warning of a government shutdown if their concerns aren't addressed. It's a tense standoff that underscores ongoing disagreements over immigration enforcement and government oversight. Finally, in Hong Kong, weight loss injections like Ozempic and Wegovy are changing the way people think about health and spending. These drugs are being sold illegally, risking counterfeit products and health dangers, while over 45% of Hong Kongers are overweight. The trend is inspiring new consumer habits, from healthier eating and fashion to a boom in wellness and beauty services. It's a cultural shift towards health-conscious living that's reshaping industries across the board. Please continue to watch for more detailed stories. Nikkei Asia vividly portrays the dark underbelly of international sports corruption, spotlighting a recent scandal involving Chinese basketball and American gambling syndicates. The story unfolds around allegations that US-based gamblers, including Shane Henin and Marv's Fairley, manipulated Chinese Basketball Association (CBA) games by collaborating with star player Antonio Blakeney, who was paid a hefty sum for fixing results. The incident reveals how basketball's structural vulnerabilities, such as the influence of star players and the smaller team size, make it an easier target for match fixers compared to soccer. Despite China's strict anti-gambling laws, the globalized nature of online betting and the popularity of the NBA in China create a fertile ground for corruption. The scandal echoes the long history of match fixing in Chinese sports, especially football, where government crackdowns have only temporarily stemmed endemic corruption. The widespread cynicism among Chinese fans, who have come to accept fixed games as part of the landscape, underscores the deep-rooted challenge of restoring integrity in both domestic and international sports. The Independent reports on the political turmoil surrounding U.S. Homeland Security funding amid ongoing violence and controversy. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer announced that Democrats would oppose legislation funding the Department of Homeland Security if it includes money for Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE), citing recent incidents like the deadly shooting in Minneapolis by Border Patrol agents and aggressive immigration crackdowns targeting the Somali American community. This opposition comes even as the House passed a bill with significant support, including provisions for accountability measures such as body cameras and oversight of detention facilities. The Democrats' stance reflects broader concerns over the militarization and misconduct of immigration enforcement agencies, which have faced scrutiny for abuses and excessive force. Past government shutdowns, driven by disagreements over immigration policy and budget allocations, loom as a warning sign that partisan conflicts over DHS funding could once again threaten the functioning of the federal government, highlighting the deep political divides over immigration and national security. South China Morning Post sheds light on the growing issue of illegal weight loss injections in Hong Kong, where the rising obesity epidemic has spurred demand for pharmaceutical solutions. Approved brands like Wegovy, Ozempic, Saxenda, and Mounjaro, produced by Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly, are designed to suppress appetite by mimicking the hormone GLP-1, offering hope to nearly half of Hong Kong's population battling overweight and obesity-related health risks. Yet, the investigation uncovers a troubling black market where these prescription drugs are sold without proper medical oversight, often at lower prices on secondhand platforms or unregulated pharmacies. The dangers of such unregulated purchases include counterfeit products, improper dosing, contamination, and severe side effects like gastrointestinal distress or even death. Experts warn that stopping these injections can lead to rapid weight regain, sometimes faster than traditional dieting, raising concerns about long-term safety and efficacy. The WHO's cautious recommendations for GLP-1 therapies emphasize the need for clinical supervision, underscoring the risks posed by unvetted access in an environment where obesity remains a pressing health challenge. South China Morning Post reports that Hong Kong and mainland China are facing a demographic crisis, with birth rates plummeting to historic lows despite government incentives. In Hong Kong, the number of registered births fell by 14% in 2025, reaching a record low, partly influenced by cultural superstitions linked to the Year of the Dragon. Meanwhile, mainland China saw a 17% decline in births, with the total population decreasing by over 3 million. The aging population is accelerating, with over 23% of Hong Kong's residents aged 65 or above, making it a super-aged society. Families are shrinking, with many opting for childless or single-child households, and policies like childcare support and housing benefits remain insufficient to reverse this trend. The challenge for policymakers is to adapt to a future where low fertility persists, which could lead to shortages in schools and a shrinking workforce, compounded by the increasing reliance on technological and economic strategies to sustain growth amidst demographic decline. The societal shift is profound. Women are delaying marriage and childbirth for education and career pursuits, and the government must foster a more family-friendly environment, investing in human capital and embracing migration to mitigate the effects of population aging. The Toronto Star highlights a tragic incident at Toronto Metropolitan University, where a 38-year-old pedestrian was critically injured after being pinned between a truck and a loading dock. The accident occurred as a 70-year-old delivery driver reversed his vehicle behind a business, unintentionally striking the pedestrian who was walking nearby. Emergency responders acted swiftly, rescuing the man and transporting him to hospital with life-threatening injuries. The incident is under investigation by the Ontario Ministry of Labour, and the university expressed concern and cooperation with authorities. This event underscores the dangers of workplace and campus traffic, emphasizing the importance of safety protocols for both pedestrians and drivers, especially in busy urban environments where heavy vehicles operate amidst pedestrian activity. The BBC reports that weight loss injections in the UK are not only transforming individual health but also significantly altering consumer behavior and spending habits. With 1.6 million people using GLP-1 based weight loss drugs in 2024, many are reducing their food intake, opting for smaller, nutrient-rich portions, and cutting back on eating out and alcohol consumption. This shift is prompting supermarkets and restaurants to adapt, offering smaller portions, healthier ready meals, and alcohol-free options to cater to this new demographic. People like Sam Gisson and Annie Haslam exemplify how these drugs are reshaping lifestyles, leading to weight loss, wardrobe changes, and increased interest in health and fitness. The trend is also influencing fashion, with rapid weight loss inspiring wardrobe reinventions and boosting secondhand shopping. Additionally, the fitness industry is experiencing increased demand for wellness services, while beauty and aesthetics sectors see rising interest in anti-aging treatments often linked to post-weight loss transformations. As this phenomenon accelerates, businesses are adjusting their offerings, and the societal landscape is shifting toward a health-conscious, weight-aware culture that influences spending across multiple sectors. The BBC paints a vivid picture of the shifting landscape of global power, reflecting on the post-World War II international order that was once anchored by American might and the rules-based system that aimed to ensure stability and fairness among nations. The author recounts personal stories, like witnessing the fall of Soviet influence in Prague and the emotional response of a young Pakistani student who perceives American power as both benevolent within the imperial citadel and oppressive on its fringes. This duality underscores the unequal distribution of the benefits of the international system, revealing that the global South often experiences American dominance as arbitrary and unaccountable. As the U.S. under Trump reasserts a more unilateral, power-centric approach reminiscent of 19th-century doctrines like Monroe's, the once-cherished rules-based order is crumbling, especially among middle powers such as Canada and European nations. These countries are awakening to the reality that they must act collectively to preserve their interests amid a return to great power rivalries, risking the destabilization that history has shown can lead to conflict. Australian Broadcasting Corporation explores the demand-driven nature of Australia's black market for illegal tobacco, highlighting a persistent desire for cheap cigarettes despite significant tax hikes intended to curb consumption. The story emphasizes that the demand for affordable tobacco remains strong among vulnerable groups, homeless individuals, those with mental health issues, and low-income populations, who often struggle to quit due to nicotine addiction. Experts call for expanded government support, including free or subsidized cessation medications, to address the demand side of the problem rather than solely focusing on cracking down on supply. The article underscores the failure of current policies to reach those most dependent on tobacco, with rising hospitalizations linked to smoking, especially among Indigenous Australians. This situation exemplifies how organized crime thrives on unmet demand, illustrating that health issues like smoking are deeply rooted in socioeconomic factors that require comprehensive, preventative strategies rather than reactive enforcement. CNN reports on the Pittsburgh Steelers' decision to hire Mike McCarthy as their new head coach, marking a significant return to NFL coaching for a seasoned strategist with a storied career. McCarthy, a native of the city and a Super Bowl winning coach with Green Bay, is tasked with revitalizing a franchise that has struggled to find postseason success since the glory days of Ben Roethlisberger. The Steelers, known for their stability under Mike Tomlin, have faced challenges with quarterback consistency and offensive production, which McCarthy's offensive expertise could help address. His past success in developing high-powered offenses and his experience coaching top-tier teams make him a promising candidate to restore the Steelers' competitive edge. This hire signals a desire to rebuild and contend swiftly, with McCarthy's familiarity with the city and his proven track record offering hope for a franchise eager to recapture its former dominance in a league increasingly driven by strategic innovation and offensive firepower. The Toronto Star highlights Clemson Tigers' remarkable resilience on the road, as they extend their winning streak to 12 consecutive ACC away games, tying the fourth longest in conference history. Coach Brad Brownell praises his team's focus and talent, emphasizing that their success is rooted in disciplined preparation and players' clutch performances, especially in tight finishes. The Tigers' ability to dominate away from home, despite close calls and setbacks at their own court, showcases their mental toughness and strategic prowess, with key contributors like Jake Wallen and Dylan Hunter stepping up in crucial moments. Their upcoming challenges include tough West Coast trips and a visit to Duke, but for now, their unbeaten streak on the road remains a testament to their grit and consistency. Meanwhile, the Globe and Mail reports on a historic winter storm sweeping across the United States, causing widespread disruptions. Over 4,000 flights have been canceled, and power outages have affected over 130,000 utility customers, primarily in Texas and Louisiana, as the storm unleashes heavy snow, sleet, and freezing rain across the eastern two-thirds of the country. President Trump has declared a federal emergency, with multiple states declaring weather emergencies and enacting safety measures. Utility companies are racing to restore power, while airlines, including Delta and JetBlue, are adjusting their schedules amid the dangerous conditions. The storm's severity underscores the threat of record cold temperatures and potential catastrophic impacts, prompting Americans to prepare for what could be one of the most severe winter events in recent history. In SCMP opinion, Hong Kong faces a daunting challenge in reversing its declining birth rate amid an aging population. Despite various incentives like cash handouts, tax breaks, and expanded childcare services, recent increases in birth registrations have been short-lived and influenced by temporary factors such as the pandemic's end and cultural beliefs associated with the Year of the Dragon. Experts point to deeper issues like high living costs, housing prices, work-life imbalance, and changing social norms that discourage larger families. Population specialist Professor Paul Yip emphasizes that meaningful change requires addressing these fundamental economic and social pressures, alongside fostering a family-friendly environment. Hong Kong's future depends on a comprehensive approach that balances incentives with structural reforms to create a sustainable, supportive setting for young families and talent retention. SCMP opinion highlights the alarming prevalence of AI among Hong Kong students, with a staggering 95% using the technology, and nearly 25% struggling to complete homework without it. Teachers, too, heavily rely on open-source AI tools like Po, DeepSeek, and Doubao, raising concerns about the erosion of students' problem-solving and critical thinking skills. While the Education Bureau has introduced some initiatives, such as an AI curriculum for junior secondary students and enhanced coding modules for primary schools, these efforts fall short of providing comprehensive guidance on responsible AI use. The Hong Kong Foundation advocates for a centralized, systematic curriculum across all academic levels, emphasizing the development of competencies at each stage to foster independent thinking and judgment, rather than reliance on AI as a crutch. They also call for a unified AI tool to streamline resources, prevent disparities among schools, and uphold academic integrity amid the rapid integration of AI into education. As higher education institutions worldwide grapple with similar challenges, the urgency to embed AI literacy responsibly into early education becomes clear, ensuring students are equipped to harness AI ethically and effectively while safeguarding the core values of academic honesty. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.